Okay, so what's up guys, I'm currently in a solo queue game today, and I'm playing Caitlyn with a random Sona support, who actually turns out to be really, really good. And I just thought this is probably one of the best games I've played in a while, and it's one of the first times I've actually bothered to play Caitlyn ranked, because I felt like she wasn't sort of top tier enough to bother playing her. But I started picking her up again recently, and honestly, she's still my favourite AD carry by a mile, just because of like the things she allows you to do. Um, just I don't know, I really, really enjoy playing Caitlyn, and you'll see why in this game. So this is probably the first Caitlyn game I think I've made since I made the How to Split Push and Win at 2000 Elo guide. I don't think this game is quite 2000 Elo. It's probably more like mid platinum, sort of mid to low platinum, I guess, which would be like old 1850. Nah, that was like starter platinum. Sort of like 1900, 1950. I don't know, around there somewhere. So it's still a decent game. It's not too low, but it's not like super high either. So here we sort of messed up because we didn't check the red for some reason, and we just killed golems instead. Taking golems on Caitlyn and Sona, I think, is just imbalanced, and I'm surprised they didn't come stop us, considering they were taking the red in the first place. It's sort of like, why would you not? I don't know. That's sort of questionable to me. But yeah, getting that extra level advantage and just the gold early game, I think is really, really, really beneficial to playing Caitlyn and Sona, because it just allows you to bully people so hard. If you get an early level 2, and they're going to waste time as well because they started red, obviously. So we got a Volibear versus Rumble Top. Those of you who recognise the 90X name, that's because that's who I usually duo queue with, but I ended up playing with Sona instead, and he played Volibear Top. And I think he lost his lane pretty hard, but whatever. I don't really mind too much. And we have Lux versus Zed mid. I'm sure those of you who watch LCS, which is probably the majority of you who actually play this game and watch my videos, know that Zed kills AD carries, and that's sort of his job. This game I found a way around it, so stick around to watch that. And I'm sure it's nothing new. I'm sure people have figured out Zed by now, but I pretty much make Zed useless this game, and you'll notice my creep killing this game is abysmal at the start, and that's because, like I said before, it's not really an excuse. I just haven't really played enough Caitlyn recently, so I'm not used to her attack animation. I'm not used to just stupid things like that. Also, I'm going to miss a lot of Qs at the game, but I make up for it with the end game, sort of mid game play. Again, I want to talk a little bit about playing with random supports. It's something obviously you have to do quite a bit. And then we used Barrier for Tristana because he poked it, that was really nice. But you have to play with random supports quite a lot in solo queue, and there's two different kinds of supports in my mind. There's the support, actually there's three. There's three different kinds of supports. There's the kind of support that plays really passive and doesn't ever want to make plays and just wants to let you kill creeps and out CS the opponent, which sometimes is good, depending on what their playstyle is like, obviously, and depending on what you play like. And then there's the kind of support like Sona here, who wants to make plays and wants to be really, really aggressive and just wants to sort of win the lane really hard and farm by winning the lane rather than killing creeps. And you have to adjust your playstyle depending on. Like, if I can get a free headshot on Trist and a free Q, and Sona Qs as well, then it's worth it to me to miss like 1 or 2 creeps in order to get that much damage on Tristana, because that's how we're playing the lane. So sometimes you have to sort of respect your partner's playstyle. Here I flash Q'd for this Leona, and he flashed as well. I'm not sure that was 100% worth it, because honestly, if their jungle was paying enough attention, like, it's not that hard to gank a Caitlyn without flash at this stage of the game when you have Leona and Amumu and Tristana to sort of all jump on me and bug my E out somehow. Almost killed Trist there. If my Q hit, he would have died. But yeah, so like I said, and the third type of support is basically the support that probably doesn't play support as his main, because if he did play support as his main role, he wouldn't play like he does. And it's the kind of support that I probably play and make me lose games when I play support, which is why I don't play support, which is sort of the over-aggressive, look, they're really quite bad and we can make plays happen support, and then you make plays happen too much and you end up actually losing your lane because you didn't go in when the time was right to go in, you went in when it was stupid and you died, basically. This Leona's that kind of support, and I don't want to shit talk people obviously, but this is just giving examples. So to recap, Sona's this kind of support that likes to play aggressive, Leona's the kind of support that likes to play aggressive, but way too aggressive at the wrong times. So here Amumu's actually playing really well, he's counter jungling Jarvan, but Lux is actually a good player as well, and he moves. And then Flag Toss comes in on Amumu, not really sure. That was a good bandage as well. good flash. So in general, I was watching that I think in the game, and I noticed that, hang on a second, this Amumu is actually pretty good. And when they have a good Amumu on the team, playing an AD carry is scary. Like, I will freely admit, playing an AD carry against Zed, Rumble, and Mumu, like, I don't want to do that. But sometimes you have to do that. And this is one of them games. So I think this is why it's interesting. Anyway, back to bottom lane. I'm at 37 creep kills, he's at 18. That's a pretty big win in my lane, like right now anyway. And when Sona gets level 6 is when we can start actually like sort of making, I don't know, kill plays, I guess you could call it. Because Caitlyn's poke and damage is obviously really good early game. But you don't, unless they mess up, I guess, you can't really kill people. Because you don't have a hard CC, obviously. You need a hard CC to kill people early game, unless they screw up. And the higher elo you get, the less people mess up. So that's one thing why I stopped playing Caitlyn, really. Because if you play something like Graves or Misfortune, you can kill people without needing a hard CC. Because you just have so much damage. So here is what I'm talking about. Leona goes really aggressive. I get my EQ cancel. And if you look at her HP, they both started at full pretty much. And I have a Vamp Scepter, whereas Tristana doesn't have a Vamp Scepter. And I have Health Potions and Sona Heal. So me getting engaged on there was actually really beneficial. And then here again, Leona playing way over aggressive. Like, I don't know why you would go in there. Like, yeah, okay, they took some damage off Sona, but we have heal from Sona, and she's not taking E, she's just taking heal, which is a really, really smart play actually by Sona. So, I don't know, this is what I'm talking about with Leona. Obviously, I think I looked at his profile afterwards, and he does actually play support quite a bit, but I didn't like his play in this game, personally. So, Amumu again steals Jarvan's red, that's... Or does he? Yeah, he does. So he does take the red off him, and then he gets caught by Jarvan. I'm not sure what happens here. I think we started walking towards... Yeah, we started walking towards the Amumu. I remember this quite clearly, actually. Amumu bandaged the dragon, which is a smart play rather than flashing. He didn't actually have his flash, actually. And then we sort of hit him, but obviously because Sona doesn't have her E because she's maxing W, and then looks like Mr. Laser. I wanted to EQ here, and I hit him with the EQ, but, like, you know, it didn't actually kill him, which is really sad, actually, because I would have liked that red buff early game. That would have been sort of securing of the victory. I know that bottom lane is low enough that I don't need to help them with this blue buff, because no matter what they do, there's no way they're going to sort of lose the buff. So I'm pushing bottom lane out, thinking, okay, that works. And then, I don't want to say that was my play that caused that, but in a way it kind of was, because Amumu didn't think that we were taking his blue buff because I was pushing bottom lane. So he walked back into the bush to try and smite, or look if they were there, and then died. That's obviously not all me, because that would be arrogant to say that, but... And Leona makes a cool play there, actually, and then he actually jukes me really hard in this bush, and then he WQs me. I headshot him, which doesn't kill him, and then he misses his ultimate, and I get him for the double buff. I think that was one of the few ultimates he actually hit well in this game, and I'm going to turn chat off, because I remember there was a lot of rage in this game, and I don't want that to be put on my video, because... Rage isn't good, and people rage far too much in this game. I'm one of them. Like, for those of you who watch my stream, like, recently, you'll notice that I do get really annoyed at people, but I don't tend to take out on them in chat. I just get frustrated, and then I play worse. That's something I'm trying to work on, because honestly, when you have teammates, like, I can imagine, if I was just Tristana right now, I'd be pretty annoyed at Leona, because it's not really Tristana's fault he's losing the lane. It's pretty much, like, not 100%, maybe 75% Leona's fault, because... Sometimes when you have supports to like engage, you don't really have a choice but to follow them, because if Tristana didn't follow this Leona, he would have died a bunch of times already, just by himself, and you don't want to die by yourself. So yeah, Amumu outplays both of these people, and Jarvan for some reason, I don't know why he flag tossed over the wall, but I don't know. This Amumu is a really good player actually, and then he kills like, Lux. It's a bit aggressive, but it's good. And then Volibear flips him. I think something really cool happened here actually. I remember something really cool happened there. So they killed the Amumu, and then Rumble goes to flash over this wall. After the Volibear passive stops being ridiculous. Yeah, he goes to flash over the wall, and he just gets like, you ain't going anywhere. You ain't going anywhere. Just gets pulled backwards straight into a Jarvan ultimate. It's just like, yeah, you dead. But then Leona comes in, actually hits a really nice ultimate, and gets the kill. For some reason, Leona took the kill there. He didn't really have a reason to take the kill. But, you know, that's beside the point. So, what am I doing? I'm going to split push, because Volibear is losing top, 36 to 60, so that's losing. Lux is losing 58 to 77, that's losing. Jarvan's losing 23 to 38, and this Mimi's a good player. So that's losing as well. So every lane I have is losing right now, whereas I'm winning 88 to 43, which is actually a pretty hard win. And this Sona's sort of, I'm going to talk about this in a later video, but Sona has like earned my trust that she's a good enough player that I can make risky plays, and she will sort of have my back. This is something I started doing recently actually, which I think is really cool. Where when you're split pushing, you sort of put 3 traps in this bush here, where the ward is, and it sort of stops any sort of round the back gank is possible, because usually I would trap sort of here and just sort of random traps everywhere. But if you put 3 traps in this bush, there's literally no way they can actually get past it, which is, I don't know, I think it's pretty cool. So for those Caitlyn players out there, start doing that. It's actually really good. Now Leona again misses her engage, walks forward and just gets ultimated by Sona. Takes so much damage for free, and obviously this Tristana's taking damage because Leona took damage now, and there's just no reason for it. And here, he actually hits a nice ultimate, I barrier, but then Leona goes in too hard, E out, ultimate into the E, 1 HP, exhaust comes down from Sona, Q comes down from Sona, and my Q barely hits Tristana and gets the kill. I don't know, I thought that was a really cool play when I did it, and I was like, wow, that was actually really, really sick. And one thing to notice there is I animation cancelled my ultimate by using E into the bush. That's not really like an advanced play or anything, I'm not trying to say that. It's just, if you're going to play Caitlyn, these are the things you need to know to play Caitlyn to play at a decent level or like a high level. Because if I would have just walked into the bush or E'd into the bush and then tried to ultimate from the bush onto Tristana, he would have walked into the bush and hit me and killed me. Whereas because I animation cancelled it and took that half a second off the E takes to fire backwards, I got there's net on him, and I also got the ultimate on him, which is sort of like a double whammy, and then that's what got us the kill. So hopefully you learned something there by playing Caitlyn. Always animation cancel Q and R, because casting them by themselves is by far a lot of the time not worth it at all. So here we saw them doing Dragon, and I wanted to fight this, but at the same time, you know, it's a Mumu, Zed and Leona. Went for the Q steal, but I don't know, didn't really happen. So I wasn't too bothered by that. They got a Dragon, oh well. I'm with a Bloodthirster. I'm going to talk about that really quickly as well. Why did I get a Bloodthirster this game? It's pretty simple. I usually go Infinity Edge on Caitlyn. I like going Infinity Edge on Caitlyn. But when you're playing against a Zed, and with the item build in mind that I had, basically I had an item build I wanted to go for this game, and Infinity Edge didn't fit that sort of item build that I wanted to play. Because I'm going to end up building a Bloodthirster, a Static Shiv, a Last Whisper, and a Mercurial Scimitar, like an early Mercurial Scimitar. Like, I'm going to upgrade my Quicksilver Sash early. And that doesn't really leave any room for an Infinity Edge, because I wanted to get the Quicksilver Sash as early as I could while still having armor penetration, so I could kill a Mumu, and maybe Rumble depending on what items you went. So that extra gold for an Infinity Edge, like, it's quite expensive, like when you look at it down the line, and it leaves you with no sustain, because if I built an Infinity Edge this game, I would have been left having to spend an extra 800 gold to get a Vamp Scepter in order to sort of live with the build I wanted to live, and Infinity Edge already costs more than Bloodthirster, so it all adds up at the end of the day, and I didn't want to spend the extra 1600 gold I think it adds up to. My math could be really wrong on that, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I think it would be about 1600 extra gold to get an Infinity Edge and an extra Vamp Scepter, which is actually a straight up Quicksilver Sash. So Leona again gets caught here, and I think I made a bad play here. I got bandaged into a Leona ultimate, and then a Mumu ultimate, and just kind of died. It was my mistake, but then our team sort of cleared it up. So me dying was worth 2 kills. Usually I'm selfish and don't think that's worth it, but I didn't really have too many Bloodthirster stacks, so I'm only down to 10, that's okay. And this Lux proved himself to be like a relatively decent player, like his positioning was okay, so I thought, okay, Lux getting a kill or an assist, whatever, that's fine, you know. And Sona got 204, which is actually really strong. Like, a Fed Sona isn't that, like, I don't know. She obviously shouldn't have more kills than me, which she doesn't, but a Sona being 204 in my mind is good, because it makes me stronger in a way. Because this Sona was a good enough player that rather than building, like, stupid items, she built things that would help me. So you notice the gold's exactly even right now, but I should be quite a bit ahead of Tristana. I'm like 1500 gold ahead of Tristana, which is quite a bit. But here we catch, we actually make a really nice catch here. And you just watch this Mumu ultimate. I remember laughing at this. I missed my Q there, which is bad. But this Amumu doesn't really know what he's doing. Oh, this isn't the time when he Amumu, sorry. And then I missed my Q. And if I didn't miss the Q, I would have killed Amumu. And I missed the Q again, went for the QR, and left him at like 100 HP. So if I didn't miss my first Q and the second Q, which is like a pixel away, I would have killed Amumu there. But that's what I get for not practicing Caitlyn, I guess. I don't know the ranges of things properly. But I don't care, you know, it's all good. And Rumble is pushing top hard here, but honestly, what am I going to do to a 2000 health with a Seeker's Arm Guard Rumble to stage the game? Nothing. So, the only choice I really have is to triple spawn. Leona again, like, I don't know what that engages. I really don't know what that engages at all. It's just so over aggressive. And now, like, Zed wants to come gank, but Leona's already a 3rd HP, so how can you gank when your support's going to insta die? Like, I don't know. This is what I'm saying about this Leona. Like, he's a good player. He hits a lot of skill shots and things nicely, but his engages are just very questionable. Now he has to recall so we can push this tower really hard. And they 3-man ganked Rumble because Rumble ain't Caitlyn with a Sona. You can't get away every time. And pushing lanes with Caitlyn is so easy. You just Q and then kill all the minions. So, and now we see them coming behind because his Sona has good wards. And we're like, oh my god, it's an Amumu and a Zed. I want to pause this really quickly actually, because we knew Amumu and Zed were coming this way. And you'll notice I sidestep and stutter step a lot here, because I'm sort of like really indecisive as to what's going on. Because I really thought Amumu was going to walk down the river with Zed and trap me off here, because why would you not do that? And then Tristana and Leona were going to follow down because they were enough HP, and then we'd be trapped 4v2, sort of where Sona is right now, and we'd die. That was what I thought was going to happen, and I thought, okay, maybe I can sort of go through this tri-bush and eat down the river. But then if Zed's a good player, he's going to catch it and kill me anyway. And so, I don't know, this is I remember this being really weird in the game. I was like, I don't know what happened there at all. I don't have a clue. Like, looking at this situation, I should not live in any way. But Amumu decides to walk around for some reason. I don't know. And then Tristana and Leona didn't even follow. And then Zed, you'll see here. I see Zed. Me and Zed know we're here. We know. And I'm like, oh my god, Amumu's behind Zed. What am I going to do? And then he sort of, I don't know. I don't really know what happened there. Like, even now watching it back, he just sort of didn't think he could kill me because Sona hit him for half his HP. And then just sort of didn't do anything. I don't know. I thought that was really weird. I still think it's weird even watching it back. It was just like, what? And then Amumu comes down, and obviously Sona's just warded this because he's a good player. And we're like, okay, there's Amumu there. Let's not hit him because might as well make Amumu waste as much time as possible. And I'm going to turn the chat on really quick here because I remember something funny happened. And yeah, so we're just farming the lane, not getting anywhere near Amumu because obviously, yeah, report Amumu leeching my XP bottom lane. So he knew we were there, but you know. And then he gets aggressive and is like, oh, that's bandage! And then he didn't hit the bandage. And then he walks back in, I think, if I remember right. And he comes back in the bush again as if we don't know he's there. And then we're like, okay, yo, what's he doing? And he comes forward, he misses his ultimate, and then he just gets beaten up. I don't know, like, Sona misses her ultimate too. And then I'm baiting here, I have barrier up so I don't really care, just hitting Tristana. I'm not even going to use my barrier because, honestly, Bloodthirst is so strong that I'm just hitting him. Sona takes the kill, whatever. If I was paying enough attention here, I think I could have flashed E'd backwards and RD Amumu, but I didn't have enough vision to actually do it. So that didn't matter too much. But you'll see there, like, I find it quite interesting actually, because I thought that Amumu was actually a really good player at the start of this game. And when you see someone do something like that, it sort of really makes you change your opinion of them, because honestly, not that that was bad play, but it just wasn't solid play. I thought this Amumu was a solid player, and then he goes and does stuff like that. And he's doing stuff like this, where like, he knows we're killing this, yet he's killing wolves at 300 HP or 400 HP, like, I don't know. That, to me, that's just a bit questionable. It's a bit too risky for not much reward. Like, he could have regened and come and helped the dragon, but instead he got 50 gold for killing wolves. I don't know, it doesn't really seem too worth it to me. And now he comes in, I think he actually gets this smite. He misses a smite but still kills it, which is fair play to him. And I'm just like, oh my god, it's a Zed. Don't want to fight that. And get out of there, obviously. But I think this is 5v4 here, so we actually go in. Rumble goes in way too deep, gets hit by the Java number, gets flinged by Volibear, and just sort of falls over. I don't want to shit talk people again, but that sort of made me change my opinion on Rumble because I thought, okay, Rumble's really smashing top lane, or was smashing top lane. I mean, he's double creep kills. But then when you do something like that, when you don't even have a Zhonya's, it's just like, you knew your team wasn't anywhere near you, so why would you go in so hard? I don't know, it confuses me. Tristana's taken my approach to the game, where it's like, do you know what, I can't bother with my team, let's just push lanes. And it's actually working for him quite well. Obviously I'm going to repeat what I'm doing, and I get this tower. Leona sadly misses there, because I could have killed Leona if he hit that. But, now this is, I want to pause again really quick. I have vision here, so I know what's going on. And, like, the way this Leona's playing to me, it just, well, the last like 15 seconds of Leona's play suggests to me that I'm getting ganked, because why would you stay a level 9 Leona with no killing power, no killing power or potential at all? There's no way he can ever kill me. Why would you ever stay in the lane? So that to me is enough suggestion. People ask to me, how do you know when you should run away when you're split pushing? And honestly, players play this in every elo, and this is the biggest sign that you're getting ganked. When people stay around for zero reason. So you notice here, like, why would you stay around like that and then misses his ultimate on me? I don't know. I see Zed coming from this pink ward, and I'm just like, okay, time to bail. So I run away. Put 2 traps here, you can't get past that, Zed. He knows it, and then runs away. Meanwhile, my team's pushing top lane, getting kills on this Tristana, and it's all going pretty well. I'm going to recall here because I think I have a decent amount of gold. I have 2.5k on me, so it's time to buy. This is a stage where I thought, okay, this is going to be a split push game. Let's buy a stack shift, because if you Q and stack shift, you kill a minion wave instantly. And that to me had more potential than buying a Zeal and a half, because I couldn't finish Phantom Dancer. If I could have finished Phantom Dancer there, there's a chance that I may have bought Phantom Dancer, but I think static shift for how I wanted to play this game was better. So that's why I built that. Just because, like, it allows you that extra burst damage, and it's not a lot, but early game it is. And I needed to do something early game, I felt like. So here, Volibear catches, well, comes into lane to try and kill this Rumble, and I'm just like, nah, dude, let's just leave it for a bit because I don't need any help bottom lane. Go do other things. So that's what we ended up doing. And I just pushed this lane. Leona comes in behind it. I don't know, like, I don't know. And then we catch Leona because he's way too aggressive. He almost gets flipped into the Sona. I crit him, Ignite goes down, and then I ultimate him. And Volibear lets me get a kill, even though he could have killed him there, because, you know, Fed Caitlyn is a lot stronger than Fed Volibear. Maybe? I don't know. A Fed Caitlyn has got 192. There you go. 192 critical Caitlyn to 90 critical Tristana, and 156 to Zed, the second highest, is a stronger than getting 60 critical Volibear kills, I guess. So now we see them all here, and I'm like, you know, let's just push, we can kill one more, whatever. One thing to notice also, it's actually a really good team fight for us, is that I'm communicating a lot with the Sona in chat. Like, I'm typing to the Sona a lot, because we need to communicate. Like, when you play a bottom lane, it's really important to communicate, even if it's a random bottom lane, it doesn't matter, you have to communicate. So yeah, Leona obviously is going to run at me, because that's all he's done all game, and I don't care, he's not going to kill me. And yeah, whatever. So he's running at me, great. And I think here, we knew that something was spawning, or I wanted to take something. I don't actually remember what I was doing here. Maybe I was taking Golems. And then we decided, let's not take Golems. I think Sona said, let's not take Golems. And he pinged Rumble back. Because this Rumble's really pushed. And Rumble dying to a Sona ultimate, like here, is really not hard to do. So here we catch him, he steps in my trap, gets queued, and uses his ultimate, gets Sona ultimate, and I'm just like hitting him because Bloodthirster, pretty strong. So we killed Rumble there for free. And honestly, Rumble was doing really well this game, and now he's 3 and 5. Like, that just shows people have good laner phases and then they throw it away. Basically, there wasn't really much reason for him to ever be 3 and 5. And I'm just hitting the tower here because I don't really care. And they're pushing our top, but then honestly, like, pushing against the Lux is hard. It really is. And pushing against their team, they don't really have anything for wave clear, apart from Rumble, I guess. Maybe Zed, but the Zed doesn't seem to want to stop me, even though it's sort of like his job in this game to stop me. He just doesn't want to stop me for some reason. So 23 minutes into the game, and I've got 211 crit kills. I'm 4-1 and 5, and I'm getting near my last whisper. This is a really, this is the point where you sort of start realizing like, oh my god, I'm actually really strong this game without realizing it in the first place. Blue buff comes up and I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever, let's take it. We see Leona in this bush, obviously, and Sona makes a really nice play here. Waits for the Leona to actually initiate on him, flashes back over the wall, and then we get a move moment that misses. And I'm just sort of hitting people. Jarvan Armor comes down, that was a nice play. And I get exhausted, and then I get Q by Leona and stunned by Leona. I barrier out, E, flash, and then Zed just sort of Zeds me. Yeah, I remember that. And I just remember thinking, oh man, Zed. And then Sona jukes both of these players here, and makes them waste a bit of time. Volibear is doing the correct thing here. A lot of players would have sort of like recalled and started coming bottom lane because they're scared. But honestly, like, if they're gonna send their whole team down to kill me, which was essentially their whole team there, getting a turret for it is more beneficial, especially when you're down on creep kills. Like this Volibear here, he goes from like 60 creep kills to like 100 and a tower in a space of maybe a minute or two, which is a really strong play, rather than coming down bottom lane and maybe getting 300 gold for a kill, if he'd have got a kill. Like, he got more creeps than that by a mile. So, something to learn for you top lane players, don't leave top lane. Top lane is very nice place to sit, and it will be a nice place to sit the whole game, unless you're getting absolutely smashed, and then you probably don't want to sit in top lane. So again, what I was talking about earlier with the Sona thing, he built items that help me. He got cooldown boots so that he can heal me more, I guess, and use more ultimates and more Qs and more Es. It's just good. And he bought a Shredders so he can run away from things. Like, Shredders is so strong when you're split pushing. It's unreal how strong Shredders is. He could have built an Aegis, but I don't think that would have helped me split pushing. So this Sona's a good player. He knows exactly what to build at the right time. This was really sketchy. I remember this was like, oh my god, I don't want to be in there. But then I remembered the owner who likes to overcommit. And I just sort of, you'll notice my position here. That Rumble on that. I don't know. Let's just wait. Let's just pause the game and look at that. This Rumble got initiated on, and then he put his armor. Right. That's not hitting anybody. He's burning. He's just burning bushes. I don't know. That's really mean. Okay. Anyway, back to the team fight. So Rumble gets ulted. And I get ulted by Leona, but I'm just kiting backwards and hitting things. Zed comes in here, and then he just jumps on my head with Deathmark, and watch my HP go by. Yeah, I ulted him, I don't know why. Probably a bad idea, because then he bladed me and killed me. So, actually a mistake there by me. But, I wouldn't have even have died there. That was 100% my mistake. So, Jarvan here though, makes a nice play, I think. I don't know. Mimi wastes his ultimate, and then actually gets a kill on Sona, but then he gets sort of both of these two killed. Or does he actually? That was actually quite a nice play from that Mimi. And then looks at a bind, and Volibear flips. Honestly, Volibear is so tanky. It's just like, well, I'm hitting you with an E debuff, but I still can't kill you. And then flashes over the wall. Tristana has nothing, can't follow. And then runs away. I don't know. I really love Volibear. I should really start playing him or something because he just looks so much fun to play. It's just like Tristana with a Blade of the Ruined King and Explosive Shot debuff. Still can't take down Volibear passive. Spirit Visage so strong. Anyway, I was dead, so I just thought I'd talk about that. Kerem got Last Whisper now. This is sort of the point of the game where if you hit people, they fall over. And I was happy to see that they sent Tristana bottom again because Tristana right now has 0 chance in the world of ever killing me unless I do something majorly wrong, which I would hope I wouldn't, but you know, you never know, sometimes you make big mistakes. And Zed can still kill me, no matter how many items I have. Because it's Zed. Zed is like the AD killer right now. Like, Zed is crazy. And I know Zed's gonna... Zed here actually gets the right idea. Like, he spent a lot of time messing around top lane. And he spent a lot of time just split pushing, I guess. He got 2 towers. But now he gets the idea, and he realizes, hang on a second, they have a Caitlyn who's really strong and has 0 defenses. I'm just going to sit here and kill him all game. And I didn't want to say anything to my team right now, because I was like, you know, this is going well, let's not like do anything. Let's just keep playing like we're playing. But as Sona sort of wandered off a bit and left me alone with Zed, and I think I said in chat here, yo, I need help with this Zed, I can't do anything. And I knew he was sat in this bush. You would notice I trap it or something, or walk near it and bait him out of it. I don't actually know what happens. But I knew 100% that Zed was sat in the bush. This is just game sense. And you notice how I'm walking there. I knew who was in the bush, put a trap onto it, and knew who was there. I hit him with the E, and he just sort of wanders off. I thought Sona might have ulted there, but I guess she was as scared as I was of Zed just killing me. So we just decided to back off. But I don't know. I think if Sona would have ulted there with exhaust, that would have actually won that. Oh well. Here I thought, like, okay, I'm gonna pause again really quick. This is a sort of case where I could split push this lane, okay, and maybe get this. I probably could have got this if I split pushed here. But at the same time, when you have a Lux still alive, and you have Sona Caitlyn, and they're like between two towers, and you know Zed is far away, that you're going to get there before Zed, because you just hit him with a trap, so you know. This is when you should never split push, because honestly, it's more important to help your team when they're this far dived. So I'm going to unpause because you don't really need to see that. And I have, again, I have a lot of trust in this Sona to actually like support me enough that I won't do anything stupid and die, I guess. So I ulted Amumu here. It didn't actually get the kill. Oh, ulted Tristana even, sorry. And Amumu hangs around to kill creeps and then gets Sona ulted, and I just right click him to death. I don't know. That was weird to me. And then we just sort of protected the tower. I think protecting the tower here was really important, because when this tower dies, it's really hard to split push, because they can, like, players really like running at middle lane, and when there's not a tower stopping them, apart from like, if this was just an inhibitor tower, they could run at mid lane whenever I went bottom lane and kill it before I could get there. Whereas if they have to go through this tower, which is full HP as well, it takes them like an extra 20 seconds, in which time I can recall and get there with Home Guard. So that's why I save that tower. It's really, 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 really important to save that tower. Top lane towers don't matter as much. This has been dead for God knows how long. But mid towers, especially in solo queue, where people only seem to like pushing mid, are really important. So I have 1600 gold here, or enough even, that I'm going to buy a Quicksilver Sash. Now, for those of you who don't know, when Zed uses his ultimate, which is Death Mark on you, he becomes untargetable, dashes to target enemy, blah blah. After 3 seconds, the mark will trigger, dealing physical damage equal to 256 plus 50% of all magical and physical damage dealt to the target by Zed in the shadow of the mark is active. If you Quicksilver Sash this, you don't get hit by the last 3 seconds part, which is a lot of damage. It's basically he does 50% more damage to you. That's how you should look at it. And if you Quicksilver Sash that, you don't get hit by the 50% extra, which is obviously a massive amount. Here I bought a red potion, because these are the items I wanted. This was my item build, like I said at the start of the game. This is what I wanted to go for. I wanted to get my Last Whisper, my Bloodthirster, my Shiv, and my Quicksilver Sash. When you get that, that's when I felt like I was comfortable enough to spend 250 gold to buy a red potion, because that extra bit of health it gives you, like, it's enough sometimes, especially when you're playing against teams like Rumble and Amumu and Zed, where you barely live. Red potion with a Bloodthirster just scales well. Like, they just complement each other in terms of everything. It makes you lifesteal more, and it gives you a bigger health pool to sort of stay alive, so that your Bloodthirster can make you stay alive at like 100 HP, and you might win a fight just because you had 100 HP left. So, if you ever want to buy a red potion, always consider how it's going to sort of interact with your item build, and if it's going to slow you down at all. Because 250 gold is quite a bit. Say we noticed Amumu recalling, and we were like, okay, yo, we got to do something. And we flipped Zed, I think. Oh no, Zed just died. What did he? And I got hit by Rumble Ultimate. Zed comes on me. I Quicksilver Sash a Death Mark, barrier, and then Q into it. Amumu here actually makes a nice play. It was a really good ultimate by Amumu. I'm sort of sat in the bush attacking because I can't do much more. He bandages through, and then I kill him. I don't know, that was... He made a nice play and then messed it up with a questionable play. I'm going to pause again here. 3 people mid lane, all sort of half HP. Leona ultimate, they have no ultimates or anything. All we have left is a Jarvan, who's got not much HP with no ultimate. Oh, he does have an ultimate, he just didn't use it. And then Volibear, who has an ultimate, hasn't used it at half HP. It could have been the right play here for me with 500 HP to sort of walk back into mid lane and try and get kills. But I'm not that kind of player. So I went bottom lane. Because I could have got back and probably got kills there, but then if I get hit by anything at all, I have nothing left. I have no barrier, I have no Quicksilver Sash, I don't have much health. My death is worth a lot at the moment, and I didn't want to die, simply. So that's why I split pushed. They went for this tower, and they couldn't actually kill it, because they didn't have the damage to kill it, whereas I took this tower out. So my decision here, I think, was the right decision, because I went and got this tower. And I also regen a bit of HP just because of Bloodthirster. Tristana here, I don't know, he went for the tower again. That's a good ult actually. And then nothing really happened, I don't know. I wasn't too phased by that. What's my gold at? Here, I'm at 1500 gold. I think I made the choice at this stage of the game where I was like, okay, I'm getting caught in Rumble Armor way too much, but what can I really do about it because it's Rumble Armor. If he wants to hit on me, he's going to hit on me. And the only way out I saw, actually what happens here? I think I put a trap down and catch Rumble. Yeah, so he walked into my trap. That's a really standard trap spot. And I've actually baited Rumble Armor here. I could have eat away straight away, but I didn't want to. I flashed away, got the, what do you call it? I don't remember what it's called. Lock it. And I baited this fight. I'm still, you notice I'm hanging around here because I got the Q kill. That's why I was hanging around basically. It's always important to hang around when you know they can't kill you. And Zed, I don't know, went for a kill, didn't actually get it. And me getting, I wouldn't really call it caught because I knew what was going to happen there. I mean, you could see I knew what was going to happen, which is why I placed the trap down. Let him walk into it, didn't use flash out of Rumble Armor when I could have done the whole time, or eat out of Rumble Armor. I wanted to bait him into the team fight. It could have gone risky, that was a risky play by me, admittedly, but it worked out at the end. So here I bought my Mercurial Scimitar. Now I could have saved up for Infinity Edge and been like one-shotting people at this point in the game, but I want to talk about this item really quick. And basically, I decided that I always have to use my Quicksilver on Zed's Ultimate. But if I get caught with Zed's Ultimate and Rumble Ultimate, which is going to happen a lot of the time, that basically I need to be able to get the move speed. 50% move speed is a lot of move speed, and that gets me out of Rumble Ultimate every time. That's basically why I built that, because you remove all the debuffs, which gets rid of the Rumble Ultimate slow with the allies, and then you walk out. So this team fight, I'm going to pause before this team fight really quickly. They didn't have a Zed. We knew they didn't have a Zed because we saw him recall, I think. And Leona, like, look at where Leona is. Okay, their Tristana's over here. He can't hit anything. Amumu's just flashed, I think. Amumu's just flashed out, so there's no reason for him to be going in. Rumble's like a mile away, and Zed's in base. So Sona's closer than everyone else actually. And Leona just, I don't know, gets flipped in and just sort of dies. He uses his ultimate, okay, fair enough. If you're gonna die, you might as well ultimate. Rumble makes a nice ultimate there. It does so much damage, it's crazy. And then we have to back off. But like, again, like I'm saying about Leona, he's the third type of support. He feels like he has to make plays when honestly his job as support isn't really to make plays, because they have an Amumu ultimate and a Rumble ultimate for the plays to be made. All he has to do is sort of follow up to it. He doesn't have to initiate in the first place. Because him being alive with Runic Bulwark is more beneficial than him being like Ramboing in and then dying. That's what I want to say. So hit Tristana. I'm actually scared of Tristana at this point. I probably shouldn't be, but I am. Just because if he hits like a nice combination on me and almost me into a wall or something with Blade, I could actually die here. I didn't actually know who was in that bush, so that was a bit scary. Back to manual camera. Yeah, so this was a confusing point in this game for me here, because I felt like this Tristana was actually outplaying me in my mind, where I was like, okay, I want to do Baron, but I really don't want this Tristana to get a free bottom tower or inhibitor for it. And I felt like if I left bottom lane here, that he would have actually got something for free, and I didn't want him to get anything because he's been denied all games. So why should he start getting anything now? It wasn't the right point of the game for him to start being abusive. But then honestly, at some points, like if they're gonna hang around Baron like this, I was ahead of Tristana at this point, so I got to this team fight quicker than Tristana did. So it was important for me to go to Baron, even if he got a tower, because I ultimated Zed here actually and took a lot of HP off him. I think that was important. And the Sona ultimate and the Lux ultimate come down and just absolutely dominate. And then Jarvan on Amumu kills Jarvan, but oh well. And then we get the kill. Tristana made a mistake there in my opinion. I don't think he should have even bothered coming to the team fight, because I got there before him. There was no way he was actually going to win, kind of thing. He should have just pushed bottom, I think. Here, we're just killing Baron. There's not really much to talk about when you kill Baron. You just kill Baron and that's it. Zed recalled, whatever. We don't have a smite obviously, but Lux is smart enough to... That did a lot of damage. It was like a 1200 damage laser on Baron. How do you smite that? Smite only does 1000, I think. Yeah, smite does 1000. So I mean, like, How do you smite that much? That just died. I don't know, Lux is so good at like stealing Barons, it's actually crazy. How much gold do I have? 1500, yeah. So here I'm gonna take red buff because honestly, that's one thing with Caitlyn that I find when I play other AD carries, unless it's Vayne, I think Vayne, maybe Vayne. Vayne and Sivir are the two champions with Caitlyn that I really feel like I need a red buff on because you don't have a hard CC and you don't have a lot of burst damage, like in skills. Like if you play Graves, red buff's good, but you have a dash and you have a Q and you have a smoke screen and you have an ultimate to do damage. You don't really need to be right clicking people. But something like Caitlyn, like you have the move speed, but you need to be slowing people with a red buff in order to like do any damage, I guess, and to feel useful because it sucks when you're playing an AD carry and your team isn't CCing people, so they're just kind of running at you or running away from you, whichever the case may be, and you can't really do a lot. Here's Zed's waiting in the bush. He wants to kill me. I'm not gonna let that happen. He's already done that trick once. I'm not gonna fall for it again. Tristana again doing the right thing here, trying to push and bait me into Zed. I guess I don't really know. I'll put a ward here. A ward? Oh, well, I guess it kind of counts as a ward because when you trap the bush, you see the ward. You see the vision, sorry. But what's the pinging? What's everyone pinging? I don't even know. Oh yeah, my team got caught here. I remember this. My team got caught, and I was like, do you know what? At the end of the day, it's a Sona and a Volibear. By the time they actually kill Volibear, I'm gonna have this top bottom inhibitor, and I think I'm pinging. That's my pings on this bottom inhibitor. I'm like, yo, they're 3 top. We can win whatever 2v2. Let's just go bottom inhibitor. And I think this is where I realized that Mercurial Scimitar really pays off, because you'll notice Zed tries to kill me here, and you'll see what happens when Zed tries to kill me. I don't know. This is why I really started side to side recently on Caitlyn, and it's made me like want to play her. So Jarvan got initiated on, and Zed came on me. I QSS the Deathmark, and then flashed after him and killed him. And barriered, and then I just didn't have enough damage to win. But you know, that's whatever. I saved Jarvan's life, and I took that out, which wasn't too worth it. But if I didn't have QSS or Mercurial Scimitar, I would have actually died there, just straight up to Zed, and wouldn't have got a kill out of it. It probably, honestly, I won't like lie about it. It probably wasn't worth me flashing after him to kill him because I flashed straight into Rumble anyway. But I'm pretty sure I was dead 100% of the time there, because you don't really run away from a Rumble who has their allies. I don't know. I might have not been dead. I might have been dead. I don't actually know. I remember getting scared here. I was like, oh, hang on, they're actually pushing quite hard. And then I realised Jarvan was just pushing top lane, which is the correct decision here. So I'm glad that my team understood the split push gameplay that I was trying to employ, rather than trying to go for big team fights, because big team fights don't work when they have so many AoE ultimates. And Rumble here, I don't know, he got caught really hard, and then just kind of died. I'm not really sure what he was thinking. He almost killed Lux though. That damage output's absurd. Yeah, like I said before, like we do have Jarvan armor, and we do have Stone armor, and we do have Lux, but a Moon armor, and they just have like so many armors they can drop down at the same time. It's actually crazy. So where am I? I'm here. I have a red potion again, and my last item's gonna be Infinity Edge for what it's worth. So they just caught Zed and killed him. That was actually quite surprised. I'm sorry I missed that. I don't want to rerun and replay it because it'll break or rewind it, but yeah. And Jarvan catches Amumu flashes out. Jarvan cancels the ultimate even, and Amumu just kind of dies there. And I think this is pretty much where it's game over. So you notice my score is 12-4-9 with 320 creep kills. That's probably the best I've played Caitlyn in a long time, and a lot of it is due to the fact that I bought Mercurial Scimitar, in my opinion. Because otherwise this Zed would have killed me a lot more than he did. And I don't know, just having cleanse is so good. Because like now the meta has changed where everyone takes barrier, and you see my damage output is still like absurd. But yeah, I'll talk in a second about barrier versus cleanse and why it's important to realise what's better. So we're just killing inhibitors because getting 2 inhibitors is worth it, and then we're pinging back. You never want to overcommit when you get inhibitors. Like a lot of people would have been like, "Oh, let's kill the base towers," but yeah, they only have a Mumu dead. Like if we die there, we might lose the game because our mid's like freely open. There's nothing to stop them just running down mid. And Tristana kills towers. Like I don't know, he just kills towers. faster than me, that's for sure. Even though I have more items than him, it doesn't matter. Tristana just does work on towers. And I think here I baited Zed, if I remember right. I could be completely wrong. Let's see. Right clicking Zed. Yeah, I baited him onto me. I cleansed the Deathmark instantly. Get bladed. Almost died still. And then killed him. Like, I cannot stress enough. If I didn't cleanse Deathmark there, I would have died. That's why it's so important. Like, I want to pause for this fight starts. I tried to build a Warmogs, I tried to build a Randuin's, I tried to build a Frozen Heart, I tried a Guardian Angel, I've tried everything in this game to get rid of Zed one-hitting me. And the only thing I found that works is building a Mercury Scimitar. So, just wanted to point that out there. Hopefully that helps some of you play AD carries and just as sick of dying to Zed like I am. Because, honestly, like, it's just really boring to die to Zed. And that's what I wanted to avoid this game. And that's what I feel like I achieved my goal this game, of just avoiding dying to Zed. So I think I must be getting close to Infinity Edge here. Yeah, I need 200 gold for Infinity Edge. So I think I went and killed Red Buff, and maybe Race, and then I got my Infinity Edge. 200 gold, is that right? Maybe. I can't do math at the moment, I don't know. Yeah, it's 180? Is it 180? How do I not know what an Infinity Edge costs? This feels wrong. 280, maybe? When you have a FBF sword, I don't know, let's see. I can't believe I don't know how much that costs. Yeah, it's 280 when you have a BF sword. Okay, that makes sense. So, I have 6 items: Infinity Edge, Mercury Scimitar, Bloodthirster, a Shiv. I was going to sell the Shiv eventually for a Phantom Dancer. That was my next sort of like upgrade, I guess. And I have the boots, Furrow boots, because running away from things with Rumble Armor is hard, and if you have Furrow, it actually helps quite a bit. And I have 400 attack damage, which is crazy. And they get caught here. Rumble Armor comes down. It's a nice Rumble Armor, and I'm just going to hit things basically. I'm not really scared at the moment. I'm just going to hit whatever I hit. So I'm just shooting things. Zed's like nowhere to be seen. We'll catch him here mid lane, I think. I don't know if he dies there. I'm pretty sure he doesn't, but he might do. Actually, yeah, Jarvan mans up, I think. Yeah, Jarvan mans up really hard onto Zed and gets killed by Zed, but it doesn't matter at this point. I flashed onto Zed, hit him 3 times and killed him. Started playing RuneScape. That was a bad joke. I'm sorry for even making that scape. I'm really, really sorry. That was just awful. And then we killed the towers and we won. Not really much more to talk about than that. I don't know. I think this is quite an enjoyable game just because, like, Caitlyn, I don't really see it often anymore in solo queue. It's more of an LCS thing, and even in LCS, it's not that popular compared to Varus and Miss Fortune and things. And I felt like that's the best I've actually played this game for quite a while, because honestly, I've been playing AD a lot recently, and I've just been dying to Zeds or Akali's or just Assassins in general because I felt they were so weak. But after this game, I felt good about it and felt like I could actually play Caitlyn more, so expect more Caitlyn play, I guess. To finish this off, I wanted to just talk quickly about Cleanse versus Barrier. The meta shifted to taking Barrier because 475 Absorb for 2 seconds is a lot of Absorb. No matter how you look at it, you can't really afford not to take Barrier at this point in the game. So you have to find Cleanse elsewhere, and luckily you can find Cleanse in Quicksilver. It's not quite as good as Cleanse as Summoner, but having that extra buffer of 475 damage on top of having a Cleanse is way, way, way better, because you cannot buy a 475 Absorb no matter where you buy it from. You can't buy a Locket that's only 230 Absorb, so no matter what, you cannot buy that much Absorb, and that's why Barrier is better than Cleanse. Even if it's against something like Zed, which is really, really, really scary, and Amumu, which is really, really scary, and Leona, which is really, really scary. Yeah, I enjoyed making this video, and honestly, now that LoL Replay seems to be a bit more stable, even though I can't rewind without it breaking, expect to see more videos like this, and in general, replay analysis, hopefully when things get less hectic and I can actually rewind, because it's important to be able to rewind for replay analysis, and if I can't rewind, I can't analyze things properly, and it would just end up in a messy video. If you want to see me playing ranked, I'm trying to stream more often at Twitch TV/streamer. Come and say hi if you want to. If you don't want to, fair enough. And thanks for watching this video, and hopefully you enjoyed it.